Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone that thinks this little green one right here seems to need a home, welcome to the Wednesday Night Joke Net here on the 146715 repeater. I am KE8PBL, your net control for the evening. My name is Nemo, November Echo Mike Oscar, and I am located in Denmark Township. Before I go any further, is there anyone that needs this repeater for emergency or priority traffic? Alrighty, nothing heard. If anybody does need the repeater for emergency or priority traffic, please break in at any time with break and your call sign. We would gladly concede the repeater for the duration of your emergency. Again, this is the Wednesday Night Joke Net here on 146715. This is a directed net and all traffic should go through net control. Everyone with a valid amateur radio license is encouraged to participate. And for everybody else that huddles around scanners or listens on the radio or however you get to us, we appreciate you being here too. This net meets every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on this repeater, and the purpose of this net is to have fun making each other laugh, coming up with crazy punchlines for this week's joke. Generally speaking, this is a 3-round net, so please stick around or you may miss something. Before we go down the list of regular check-ins, let me just say this repeater is owned and operated by the Ashtabula County Amateur Radio Club. It is an open repeater and available for public use. Obviously, you can get to this repeater via RF, and it has a negative offset and a PL tone of 141.3 if that's how you're getting to us. Actually, there's also an Echolink node here too, and that is N8CT-L. Please treat the repeater like it has a 2-minute timeout and allow for clean breaks between transmissions. Other than that, we are good to go. Let me take a quick break for time, and we will go down the list of regular check-ins and see who all's here tonight. All right, starting off at the top of my list, we'll see if he's out there. Jeff, KC8LAR.
KC8LAR present.
All right, give me a second here if I can get my pen to write. KC8LAR. There we go. We got you in the log. Thank you for being here tonight, Jeff. Appreciate you. How about Wayne, Alpha Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet?
Good evening, Alpha Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet.
All right, Wayne is here. Thank you for joining us tonight, sir. Good to have you with us. Let's try Vito, Alpha Delta 8, Oscar India.
Alpha Delta 8, Oscar India, coming to you live from the Huntington, Pierpont, Ohio, on half a watt on the HT. Back to net.
All right, got you on half watt there. You're sounding pretty good for that distance. How about Jim, KE8LFR? All right, nothing heard there. I heard him punching through the trees earlier because the leaves are gone, and he sounds pretty good. W8KNO Joe.
W8 to KNO present, and thank you, Nemo.
Oh, no, thank you for being here tonight, my friend, and I appreciate you checking in. We'll try our friend up in Canada now. Victor Echo 6, X-Ray Tango Charlie. Bruce, are you with us tonight?
I've arrived, and to prove it, I'm here. It's Victor Echo 6, X-Ray Tango Charlie. Connected, VE6HFK.
All right, I just heard another Echolink log in there. We will get to you in just one moment. Give me just a second. We'll finish the rundown as I have it. Let's go down to Ken, KE8YBN. All right, nothing heard from Ken. Hopefully he's doing all right, and maybe he's out at square dancing class tonight. That would be a good thing to know that he's doing okay there. How about Dan, N8DRL? All right, nothing heard there. Hopefully he's doing okay. I know he just got a new antenna mounted to his leg, so to speak, and hopefully he's doing okay. We'll come to visit you tomorrow there, Dan. I'll see you there. All right, we'll go down here, and I know I heard this call sign come across the repeater here just a few moments ago. K8TIE. Dave, are you with us tonight?
Oh, King 8, Terra Ida Easy. Well, most of those things I thought were pretty furry, but I'm going to go with Gremlins. K-A-T-I-E. Good evening, Nemo. Good evening, Net. Dave? Dave's not here. Back to Net Control.
All right, Gremlins is a good guest for tonight's mystery show of the week. I appreciate that one. It's in the log. All right, that rounds out the list as I have it. So I did hear one other call sign come across the repeater there just a moment ago. So if anybody would like to check in, anybody I might have missed, let's give it a rundown. K8PVL. K8ZHH. Frank, I got you in the log, man. Good to hear you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Anybody else? All right, very good. Nothing heard. I'll lock in the list here, and we'll have an opportunity for people to check in more as time goes on. All right, we'll get into this week's joke. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. And this week's joke, what do you get when you cross a snowman and a dog? This week's joke, what do you get if you cross a snowman and a dog? And we'll spin the bottle here and see who it lands on. We'll go with Vito, Alpha, Delta 8, Oscar, India. Vito, good to have you with us tonight, sir. What do you get if you cross a snowman and a dog?
88OI here. I was really hoping not to go first. I'm going to say a snog. Back to Net.
Well, that's a good start, and I like that answer. It's right up there with the good ones that we've gotten so far, which is the one. All right, we'll take it. How about it, Joe W8KNO? What do you get if you cross a snowman and a dog?
You get yellow snowball. Yellow snowball.
All right, and the abominable snowman will make snow cones out of them. Very good. I like that answer. Yellow snowballs. How about it, Bruce? Victor Echo 6 X-Ray Tango Charlie. What do you get when you cross a snowman and a dog?
Offhand, I'd say it was a meltdown.
All right, we got a meltdown in there. I like that answer too. Very good. How about it, Dave? KTIE, Dad, what do you get when you cross a snowman and a dog?
Oh, gosh, let's see. Snowman and a dog. Yellow snow that barks. KTIE back to Net Control.
All right, well, hopefully that yellow snow's bark is worse than its bite, so to speak. I don't know how to work that in there somehow, but that's a good answer, yellow snow that barks. KE8ZHH, Frank, how about it, man? What do you get when you cross a snowman and a dog? Alrighty, Yellow Snowman, not one I'd want to play with, and hopefully he doesn't melt. Leave that hat on him. Alright, how about it, Jeff? KC8 LAR, what do you get when you cross a snowman and a dog?
Oh, that's a good question, Emo. As much as I like Joe's yellow snow cones, I think I was always taught to eat dinner first, so I'm going to go with a chili dog. A chili dog it is. KC8 LAR, back to net control.
All right, a chili dog. I like that answer. That's a good one. And man, I'm putting that one to the top of the list there. And actually, I like Frank's answer too, man. That one's going up there. How about it, Wayne? Alpha Charlie 8 Yankee Juliet. What do you get when you cross a snowman and a dog?
I'm going to have to say a popsicle.
All right, a popsicle. Very good. I like that answer too. We've gotten some good answers tonight all the way around. That rounds out the list. K8 PVL with the Wednesday Night Joke Net. Before I get into the actual answer, is there anybody else that would like to check in and take a stab at it?
Hello there, this is Harley, Victor Echo 6, Hotel Foxtrot Kilo. I'm a friend of Bruce's there, Victor Echo 6, X-Ray Tango Charlie. This is my first time checking into the net, really, and I did hear the joke. If it's okay, I'll give my answer. I'll stand by here.
All right, Victor Echo 6, Hotel Foxtrot Kilo. Good with you. Good having you with us tonight, sir. You are logged into the net. And could you give me your name one more time, please?
You bet, thank you, yes. And I'm checking in through Echolink. I live about 65, 70 miles from Bruce, actually. And my first name, given name is Harley, just like the motorbike. Back to you.
All right, Harley, thank you for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it, and welcome to the group. Go ahead with your answer. What do you get when you cross a snowman and a dog?
Well, my wife was here, she overheard it too, and she came up with a good idea, thinking maybe it was frostbite, but I think after the chili dog, maybe if you have too much of that chili dog answer, that's a good one, maybe you'll get frostbite. Back to you.
All right, very good. And I'll take that +1 on the relay there. Thank you for that. We'll put both of those in the log for you. Appreciate the numbers tonight. Always good to have the XYLs hanging out around the radio with the hubbies or even on the radio themselves. That works out just fine. All right, one more time around. This is K8 PVL. Is there anybody else that would like to check in?
KE8YVN. Hi. Check it in. Back to the net.
K8YBN. Ken, I got you in there, man. Thank you for joining us tonight. I did call you out on the regular roster, but I'm glad you made it with us. How about it, sir? What do you get when you cross a snowman and a dog? All right. Well, I'm not getting a call back from him there, but I'll take the numbers tonight. Ken, I'm assuming you're mobile, but you are hitting the repeater pretty good. So safe driving there on your way back wherever you're going to, if that's the case. Very good. Thank you for the check-in. Feel free to jump in whenever you want. One more time, is there anybody else that would like to check in? Please call.
This is Alpha Kilo 8
Mike Bravo, looking for a radio check. Thank you.
Alpha Kilo 8 Mike Bravo, this is Kilo Echo 8 Papa Victor Lima. We're running the Wednesday Night Joke Net here, and your radio is working 5x5. A little bit of bacon in the repeater, but other than that, you're sounding good.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're just about 20 miles south of Ashtabula, and on the handheld unit right now. Thank you.
All right, very good. Yeah, you're sounding good on a handheld 25 miles south of Ashtabula. You're not the farthest away by RF by any means, but I think W8KNO is pushing 70. But thank you for joining us this evening, and if you wanted to stick around, we'll keep you on the list. All right, very good. Man, let's go ahead. We'll get the answer out of the way here. This is KE8PVL and the Wednesday Night Joke Net. Tonight's joke, what do you get if you cross a snowman and a dog? My answer is frostbite. So somebody got that right. I believe that was a +1 that got that right. And all the other answers are great. Man, we got some good answers tonight. Appreciate everybody being quick on your feet and throwing some good answers out there. All right, let me get into a couple announcements, and we'll get into why everybody's really here. All right, very good. The Aries District 10 Emergency Services Training Net is every Monday night on this repeater, 146715. A negative offset, PL tone 141.3, and echo link of N8CT-L. Please give emergency services a hand. Now's the time of year we could really use some folks jumping on that, especially with the severe weather we've been getting. How about it? Ashtabula County Amateur Radio Club's weekly net is also on this repeater Thursday at 8 p.m. Again, 146715. Obviously, PL tone 141.3 and N8CT-L. Check them out every Thursday night at 8 p.m. There's a bunch of good folks over there on that net too. And normally the Amigos Radio Club Ashtabula's weekly or monthly meeting would be held on the 13th of this month, but that is being rescheduled, not necessarily rescheduled. In lieu of volunteer days, we will be helping out the Jefferson Conservation Club with their week or yearly Christmas food drive, and that's going to be on the 13th there. I believe that's what I have on my calendar. So we will be doing that evening, whatever that Saturday evening is, and hopefully Wayne will get me the information that I need so that I can talk about it more appropriately on the next net. All right, just throwing that out there. Very good. If you guys have anything you'd like to have relayed or announced on the net, please try and drop me a line either through the Wednesday Night Joke Net Facebook page or send me a text message or something along those lines. Generally speaking, I ignore my email as much as possible, so that's probably the worst way to do it, but any other way is probably good. All right. Again, this is the Wednesday Night Joke Net. This is K8PVL. I'm going to step out of the way. We'll get into why everybody's really here. All right, so Vito, thank you for joining us tonight out at Deer Camp, sir. Glad you're with us, and you're sounding pretty good mobile there. Alpha Delta 8 Oscar India, what do you got for the group?
88Y here, not much. Saw about 6-7 deer on Monday, couple deer yesterday. Single deer today, little one about 70 pounds. Keeps coming around every day. Other than that, not much. Set up, I think it's a 14 element beam that I'm hitting the repeater with right now. And switched to the mobile unit, so save the bacon for breakfast. And looking forward to getting a deer. back to net.
14 element 2 meter beam. No wonder you're hitting on 1 watt, man. That's crazy. But awesome work, and good testing it out for field day and making sure that you could do something along those lines if you needed. Very good. All right, W8KNO Joe, thanks for joining us tonight, sir. What do you got for everybody?
I'd like to say good evening, and everyone enjoyed this last weekend. I played in the CQ Worldwide DX CW contest. Only part-time because we had plenty of stuff, and also Ohio State and the Browns were on, so it's pretty good. And it's known as one of the big contests of the year, and I looked, 7,200 people have submitted their logs for record. So that's interesting. Also, I looked up how far from you, Nemo. If the repeater's in Jefferson, I'm 36 miles away. If it's in Pierpont, I'm 42 miles away. So with that, back to you, KE8PVL, W8KNO.
All right, very good. Yeah, you're 36 probably sounds about right. Probably 40 is more likely because just because of driving conditions there. I was down there just not that long ago, down by you by the Arsenal down that way, and because I think you're on the far side of the Arsenal over there, and that was about I want to say that was about 45-minute drive for me, maybe a little longer. So, yeah, right around in there. Very good, sir. All right, how about it, Bruce? Victor Echo 6, X-Ray Tango Charlie, thank you for joining us tonight, my friend. And what do you got for everybody?
Yeah, well, I had quite an exciting time. And Monday night, we had a power failure that lasted about 4 hours. So I found out a lot of my lanterns didn't have the power I was hoping they had. But I managed to make it through, and it was quite exciting. Apparently, something happened to a transformer, and I heard a rumor that someone stole a stand that connected it to the wires or something like that. Anyway, but I don't know about that. But definitely, the power flickered and flickered and flickered, and then it went out altogether. So that was quite interesting. Anyway, back to net.
All right, very good. Yeah, I think we had some local power outages around here not long ago during this last snowstorm that blew through here. I think it was mostly ice damage or whatever. To be honest with you, it wasn't that bad. The snow that we got, we've definitely gotten way worse. Our first snow of the year, and I didn't notice the power outage myself. Because I'm sure many, I live kind of off-grid, and I have an off-grid farm, and I'm not actually connected to power. So I don't know when there's a power outage. People have to tell me. All right, very good. But I'm glad everything got worked out, and you got it back up and running. How about it, Dave? K8TIE, good to have you back with the net, and what do you got for the group?
Well, I'm comparing microphones, and I looked up the D104 static that you showed me a picture of, and it looks like it is much more characterized for amateur radio use in that it only loses about 5 dB from 1 kilohertz down to 200 hertz, and it rises fairly substantially, like about 10 or so dB, maybe about 15, going from that to 3 kilohertz, peaks out and then rolls off. So it's clearly designed to give straight communications bandwidth, whereas the other ones that I have here, AKG 190DEs, are general hi-fi music grade kind of microphones good within a couple of dB from 200 hertz or so or less to 12, 15 kilohertz. So they're different type of animals, and clearly that one is kind of designed for strictly communications. And besides, I saw that it has a feature that sends out a little bit of Morse code at the end of your transmission, which is really kind of interesting, if nothing else, because I don't think of sending out Morse code at the end of my voice transmission. Okay, TI, back to that control.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's some folks that, that microphone you're talking about has gone by several names, Silver Eagle, Night Eagle, a couple other different ones, but it's all basically the same microphone, and it's all produced by the same company. I'm sure it's going to sound just fine hooked into a Yaesu 101, and I'm sure there's people who have been around longer than me that are on this net that are more familiar with the microphone than I am, but looking it up and doing the research on it that I've done on it, it is probably one of the best microphones on the market that you could get, as long as you can get your hands on one, because I don't believe they're actually made anymore. But working ones are valued by collectors and users alike. So there you go. All right, we'll keep on going down the list here. We'll go to Frank, KE8ZHH. Thank you for joining us tonight, sir. What do you got for the group?
There's a swap shop for radio gear on 455 Greenville repeater every Sunday night at 8 p.m. And it's kind of like a trivia net too also. They're looking for net control operators to run the net also. They only have 2 so far, but it's been around for a long time. And if you have something you want to sell, radio related, go ahead, join the net. Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Greenville. And yeah, if you need all the information, just look it up on the internet. I don't have it with me right now, but it's pretty cool. I'm gonna be selling some stuff there. And yeah. And anyways, everybody take care, and I'll stay warm tonight. I think it's going to get colder too, and hopefully I'll be able to go out ice fishing this year. It's been a while. Okay, and with that, back to K8BBL. Thanks for listening.
All right, very good. And hopefully it doesn't get too cold. I do want the ground to freeze though, because that would make things a little better for me here at the farm. That's for sure. It's always better than being just soft and slushy under the snow. All right, and those PSEs, man, those are good bows. Most of them, I picked up a Nova when they first came out some years back, and they do okay. I picked it up mostly because it was I'm a tall guy, so. With compound bows, your draw length is important, and it was one of the few that I could find at the time that actually had a draw length that was big enough for me. So I have used it quite a bit over the years. All right, we'll keep on going down the list here. We'll go to, we've got one of the new folks in the group, Victor Echo 6, Hotel Foxtrot Kilo. Harley, thank you for joining us tonight again, sir. Appreciate you being here. And do you have anything for the group?
Oh, hello there. Yes, thank you so much. It's my first time speaking on the net here. Bruce is the one that's recommended the net here, and so, word of mouth is the best advertiser, isn't it? So that's good. I'm glad we could get home in time to listen to the net here, to take part in the net. A cute little amusing story I can tell you from the weekend. On Sunday afternoon, I was out with my 20-watt HF rig. It's cold up here, of course, and it's winter, and so I set up in the car, and I have a hitch receiver adapter, and I can get a mast up or what have you for about 12 feet off the ground. And I have permission to go to this farmer's field where there's a clearing, and there's a bit of a knob of a hill. I can get up higher than the trees on this knob of the hill. And I was out there for a couple hours, and somebody in a small SUV drove by on the range road. They don't know what I'm doing. I'm more than a quarter mile from the road, but they're on this gravel road, and they pull over and stop, and they watching me for about 45 minutes, and they drove away. And then 15, 20 minutes later, they were back, and about 10 minutes after they were back, up another SUV comes. Well, here it's a police officer, and this person must have reported me, and I have permission to be on the land. It's friends of a friend kind of thing, and so no problem. I wasn't breaking the law or anything, and this police officer came over. What a nice man. I stood outside. It was cold with a bit of a breeze, but I stood outside talking to him for more than 20 minutes. He was just such a nice fellow, and he said, yeah, well, that woman was concerned that maybe you'd shot a deer, and it is hunting season here. But I don't think this zone allows you to hunt on Sundays. So it would be wrong she thought I had already shot a deer or something. And so she called me in thinking I was poaching, and it was kind of funny because the neighbors are kind of looking out for each other, I guess, not knowing that I had permission to be there. And he was just such a friendly guy. I ended up talking to him for more than 20 minutes, and then when it was all said and done, he said, well, I'm so sorry to keep you so long talking outside like this here. And I said, well, actually coming to the hill here and setting up my radio means I want to talk to anybody, really. I'll talk to anybody wherever in the world. That's what I'm doing it for. So it was a pleasure to talk to him. And even though I got reported to the police, I did nothing wrong, of course, and there was no trouble, really. But I'm glad that he was going to follow up with her and just say, yeah, he has permission, and he's doing a radio hobby out here. So to follow up. But it was a happy ending to something that started off just being a little strange. But it all worked well in the end, and thank you to you folks and the net for letting me tune in, and I'll go back to receive here. Thank you.
All right, Harley. Yeah, that's always an amusing story when that happens, and then you find out sometimes that they even have an interest in it themselves, and then you're like, come on down. Here's when we meet, and sometimes they show up. If not, it's always still a good time to talk and have a good conversation. Very, very good on you for that one for sure. All right, we'll keep on going. I know I heard him out there. Let's try him one more time. Ken, KE8YBN, are you with us still?
Yeah, this is KYV. You caught me back into my driveway as you got back from going to a Bible study tonight. And the voice went bad on me over the weekend. Got out of coffee and
coughing up those little white chunks, stuff like that, and trying to get my voice back and things. I'm trying to stay warm too, of course. Other than that, funny, back home safe anyway. So I'll tell you, I have to go to Jensen after this. I got a nature call. Urgent, gotta go quick too anyway, so. Back to net, Judge KYV, and back to net. Good night, Control.
All right, very good. Hey, just real quick, was that Vicky's Bible study over there in Denmark Township?
Yeah, yes it is. Yep. That's where it's at. You gotta come on out, everybody. Yeah. It'd be a surprise for her. Yeah. Back to net.
All right, well, if you're going to be someplace else on a Wednesday night during my net, that's a good place to be. I can't fault you for that one. I'll let you get to what you're doing, and if you feel like checking back in with us a few minutes from now, that'll be great. Appreciate you, dude. All right, we'll go up to Jeff, KC8LAR. What do you got for the group tonight, my friend?
Good evening, Nemo, and everyone else on the net. Polishing up old equipment, trying to make it look new again. Other than that, just sitting back, copying the mail, and listening to all the other going things on. And yes, Aesthetic did stop production of the D104. Boxed it up and done with it. I've got 6. My favorite one's got a DAL-10 head on it, so Dave can look that one up. It works really great on my 2-meter Siegel sideband rig. Yeah, they're fun mics to play with too. They've got a little bit of character, so. And good to hear Harley's being a good steward for amateur radio. That's good on him. It's always good to have a good ambassador out there that will share the love, so to speak. With that, I don't really have anything else to add, so we'll pass it back to Net Control. This is Kilo Charlie 8, Lima Alpha Romeo.
All right, very good. And man, so that puts me down here to Wayne, Alpha Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Somebody's got to be last on the list, and I guess you're it. What do you got for the group tonight?
Well, I'm happy to heard some people we haven't heard in a little while tonight, and thanks Harley for joining us tonight. Much appreciated. Always more the merrier here on the net. With your permission, Nemo, can I read off the location of where the Share Christmas is?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and take it away. And then when you're done, if you could send me a text message with that information, because I need it for more than just me. The club needs it across the group chat, please.
Okay, that I will do. Our Share Christmas for the Jefferson Conservation Club is Saturday the 13th. It's at Dorset Community Center, which is located at 2681 State Route 193, Dorset, Ohio. And the zip code there is 44032. Doors open up at 5, dinner's at 6:30. That's really about it. I'm just happy to be on the radio, playing some radio. I've been busy with work and all that stuff. Sort of back to Net Control. Alpha Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet. Thanks, Nemo, for all you do.
You're welcome, and I only do part of it. This net wouldn't happen if it wasn't for all the great participation that we get. And, the members of this net, we've had a good core of like 10 or so that have stuck with it in the last, 3 or 4 years that I've been doing it. And, I think it's been just over 3 years now, sort of right around Thanksgiving is when I started about 3 years ago, and it's been running pretty good. We get a good turnout, and I appreciate it. And some of that turnout has turned over, and that's fine too. I do miss the one OTR CDL driver that used to pull through here on a regular basis. That guy was pretty cool. We're waiting for Tom, Queen Victor, whatever, K8, Queen Victor Zulu. I think we're waiting for him to come back in. He'll be back soon. I need to send him a message too. But appreciate everybody for jumping in here with us tonight. Absolutely. All right, that rounds out the list as I have it. Before I go any further, because we do have a little bit of discussion topic this evening, is there anybody else that would like to check into the Wednesday Night Joke Net? Please call. NADPD. Bob, I got you in there. Thank you, sir. Let me get you in the log here. Sorry, my scribbling is not as fast as it used to be. Anybody else? Please call. K8ZHH, I'll get you down on a recheck there.
K8TIE. Some extra comments on microphones. K8TA, back to neutral.
All right, very good. I'll get you on the recheck for that one too. Hold on a minute. Let me get that logged in. One recheck there, and I got one recheck there. Very good. Anybody else want to recheck before we get into the discussion round? All right, nothing heard. K8ZHH, you're first in line. Go ahead with your recheck, sir.
Thank you much, K8ZHH. Anybody with Aries? I have a real quick question. Is Matt W8DEC back with Asheville County Aries Net? If he is, can you say something real quick? Thank you.
All right, Frank's got some intel questions about W8DEC and his association, continued association with the Aries group. Anybody got info on that?
See at LAR to net.
KC at LAR, send it.
Yes, Frank, he is still associated with it. He had to take a little bit of hiatus, but he is back. Same bat time, same bat channel, Tuesdays, 10 to noon, second Tuesday of every month. If you're looking to jump back into it, I'm forgetting the name of the library now. They're in Jefferson Henderson Public Library. Yeah, that's it. That's all, folks. That's all I got. Bats Connect Control.
All right, just to confirm that, you did say Tuesday, but I believe you meant Saturdays. Roger.
Yes, it's the second Saturday from 10 to 12 at Henderson Public Library. Thank you, Nemo. My head is not screwed on straight this evening.
All right, very good. Hope that answered your question, Frank. We'll move down the list here to Dave, K8TIE. Go ahead with your recheck.
Okay. It has to do with what the microphone picks up, what your frequency response is, and what you're doing with it. The human body apparently takes and puts out a lot of lower bass response down below kilohertz and stuff out of the chest and stuff like that. So that actually ends up with a lot of low frequency stuff. And for communications, you don't want that because that takes up your modulation power. But they used to take, one of the things they do, of course, is they roll off the lower end to usually on the mixer panel to take and get rid of that. And that's what they did with the top 40 stations where they wanted to blare at you. But I noticed that classical stations take and actually leave it there. So the announcer sounds sort of bassy, And when he announces the station ID, he isn't taking and blasting everybody out of the room. Because if you're listening to classical music, you got it turned up loud for those crescendos and stuff, and they really should go whomp at you, and you don't want the announcer to come out at the same level. So those are some of the interesting things that come about on the microphones, and I see that as kind of advance taken into that in the D104 mic. Thanks for time. The other thing is, just for a little note, the DL104 has a silver eagle and it has the night eagle. The night eagle is black. The silver eagle, the whole microphone stand is bright, shiny. So that's the basic difference between the two of those. And that has a deliberate roll-off below 3 kilohertz that obviously is designed to take out and not be dominated by all these low frequencies put out by the body that are not part of what you really need in order to be able to distinguish what's being said. KETA, back to net control and listening to the end of net.
All right. Well, that's a good tidbit. Actually, that particular model microphone or that style microphone manufacturer made many different ones. My understanding is the internals are pretty much the same on all of them. It's just the outsides that are a little more decorative than others. I know someone who has a presidential one. I know somebody who has a Star Wars one. So it just depends on when you got it and which one it is. I know a couple people who have ones that have never been touched by a radio and are in plastic, and those go for quite a bit over the internet if you're willing to get off of them a little bit. But they're definitely collector's items and well worth using. Everybody I've ever talked to that has used one has said they're great microphones. All right. We'll move into the discussion topic for tonight. I'll go ahead and get us going on that. So, one of my favorite things that's coming up here since it's December is the CQ SantaNet. The SantaNet is amateur radio guys getting together and doing Santa on the air, basically. Letting all the kids from all the different places all around the country get together and make contact with Santa over the radio. That's a little outside of my, generally speaking, my privilege is to be able to do. It's up in the 3.7 megahertz range or whatever, up in that range. So I don't get to actually participate in it, but I think I'm going to sneak away through there this year. I got some stuff in the works with the radio club, and we'll go out there with the appropriate licensing and the club call sign, and we'll do something for them kiddies out there. But over the years that I've been operating as a ham radio operator, of course, I can listen to the CQ SantaNet, and it is probably my favorite thing to listen to over the air as far as ham radio goes. So check them out. There is a website for them. I think it's cqsanta.net. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And they've got a schedule list there, and any ham radio, obviously, they can probably receive it. They usually, what I've heard is they've set up a East Coast and a West Coast relay station, and some guy in the middle, I've never DF'd it to figure it out or even checked on it, but I'm assuming he's at least close to the North Pole. Anyway, so my question is tonight, what's your favorite amateur radio event to listen to that you don't actually participate in? We'll start with Vito, Alpha Delta 8 Oscar India. How about you, man? I like CQ SantaNet. It's so fun to listen to the kids talk to Santa Claus. But what's your favorite ham radio thing to listen to that you don't actually participate in?
good question. So last year was obviously the first time I heard of CQ SantaNet. Since I just got licensed last year, wanted to do it for my granddaughter and my nieces and nephews. Didn't work out. I thought it was on 40 meters, but it was because I don't have an 80 meter antenna. But I was just looking at it and it did say 80 meters. But my favorite thing to listen to that is not something I participate in. Break for time. I'm going to have to say HF Nets. That's pretty much all I've listened to when I'm getting ready to get out into the woods since I've been out here, and yeah. So, HF Nets. Back to net.
All right, very good. There's a lot of good ones out there too, all kinds of different ones. How about it, Joe? W8KNO. I like CQ SantaNet. What's your favorite thing to listen to that you don't actually participate in?
Hello, good evening, and I'll say 73 to everyone, since this will be my last time before I kick off and go over to the Warren Net. I heard SantaNet way back in about 2000, and I retired in 99. In 2000, I went to work as Santa in Eastwood Mall, and after hearing the SantaNet, I used to operate on the Warren Net as Santa on the air on Thursday nights before their net started. So, but yeah, SantaNet is one of the nice things to listen to. And the other one I participated in but still listen to is the international, well, I don't listen to it anymore, is the international phone net. What is it? For the military, the phone patch net. It used to be very popular before phones could reach everywhere. That was another one. So to everyone, 73, I'll listen again next week, and I'll be jumping off in a couple minutes. Back to you, Nemo. KE8PVL, W8KNO.
All right, very good. International Phone Patch Net. I am going to have to check that out. I have never heard of that one. I'm glad it exists, and maybe it's still a good one for some folks to use. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Copy that 7-3 right back at you, sir. All right, we'll go down to Bruce, Victor Echo 6, X-Ray Tango Charlie. How about it, sir? I like CQ Santa. What's your favorite ham radio thing to listen to that you don't actually participate in?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any nets that I listen to and whatever. I wish you'd asked which was our favorite net apart from the joke net. I would have said the Rainbow Valley radio net on the VE7. What is it? I've forgotten the repeater. DGP, VE7 DGP repeater in Vancouver. I love listening to those guys every morning. It's quite hilarious. And by the way, is Santa Claus's call sign H0H0H0? Expiring minds need to know. Back to net.
I will have to look that up again because I don't have it directly in front of me, but I will. Oh, wait, yes, I do have it directly in front of me. And I don't have the actual call sign for Santa right in front of me. I would imagine that they have an event call sign through somebody for that. Anyway, it doesn't list it on their main website, which is cqsanta.com, which is what I have up right now. But the full schedule is right on their main page, and yeah, it's 3.96 3.916, and starting on Thursdays, coming up here, and then Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday through the rest of the month there. All right, I don't know that there's what his call sign actually is, so there you go. But HO8HO would be a good one, absolutely. All right, we'll keep on going down the list, and I marked down that Rainbow County Net. Maybe I'll check them out one day soon, and feel free to plug that if that's actually what you're thinking of there. All right, how about KATIE, Dave? What's your favorite ham event to listen to on the radio?
Well, in the early morning, I'm pretty much tied up trying to get all my documents written and stuff. So there is the barometer net that I listen to very often. And some of those, I've been into it a couple of times, but generally I just listen while I'm taking and filling in my logbook for the upcoming trivia net, and maybe making it and seeing if there are any ideas that I have for trivia questions and things like that. But the barometer net starts out giving weather, and somewhere early on they might even give space weather and things like that. So it is sort of good to listen to, even if I'm not a source for that information. So I do listen to it for that. But very often I get to it a little bit late, and it shuts down early because they go for however much they're getting logins for the given day. They consider themselves mostly a drive time net. KATA, that connects control.
All right, the barometer net. I actually have never been able to check into that, but we used to do a thing local around here. We used to call it the Ride to Work Roundtable, and we were doing that probably for a good 2 years, where everybody would just check in on the repeater in the mornings on their way to work, and we would have pretty good discussions most of the time. Do kind of miss that actually, absolutely. All right, so we'll keep on going though. We'll say Frank, KEHZHH, he used to be a regular on the Ride to Work Roundtable. He's one of the few that still check in the mornings, I guess. What are your thoughts, sir? I'm talking CQ Santa, but what's your favorite ham event to just listen to?
SW8ZHH. I'm still tech still. And I need to get my general. I know. You told that by everybody. I will get it. That's what. But probably 40 meter. Just listen to guys rag chewing or nets on there. Like to see how far out I get. Hear people, hear different. What do you call it? People talking from all over, and they're, I can't think of the word of it right now. I'm too tired here. Their accent. And, it's pretty neat. You hear people from Georgia, Texas, and New York, and New Jersey, and you can tell they have an accent. And you hear people from Ohio, and they're, that's cool, But I can't talk. But I just listen, I get up and I'll wake up when I can't sleep, and I'll turn the my games are on, and I just listen for a bit till I get tired. Sometimes early in the morning too, I'll listen to people 140 meters. I gotta fix my antenna also. It's drooping down real bad, about 10 feet. I never got around to it this year, but I'll wait till springtime. And that's about it. And I'd just like to say something real quick. can you hang around after the net? If you could relay that to Dave, Nemo, I'm allowed to say that after the net about to Mike. Hope I ain't in trouble. Anyway, hey, this is KE8VHH. Back to net control.
All right, very good. Yeah, K8TIE, stick around after that, and you and Frank can have the repeater after that for a little bit and do whatever chatting you need to do. Copy?
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, very good. We'll keep on going down the list here. We'll go to Victor Echo 6, Hotel Foxtrot Kilo. Thank you, Harley, for being here tonight. We were talking CQ Santa as being my favorite thing to listen to on ham radio. What's your favorite thing to listen to that you don't necessarily participate in?
Well, like the previous fellow mentioned, the choose on either 20 or 40 is great, although it's not a formal net. One of the nets I try to take, get in as many times as I can, but I'm not often home in time to get in on, is the Alberta Public Service net, and they're 0.7 megahertz here out of Alberta, and they go up and down. It's actually kind of more of a serious net. I would say that they're pretty strict about things, but it's nice to hear what people's weather are doing all the way north and all the way south. I'm kind of smack in the middle of Alberta, and I have family all in the south part of Alberta, and it's nice to hear some of those folks that are not far from our family farm there here what the weather is doing, and they just do a quick little report, so it's nice to hear that. And what I can do is I use a Kiwi, I tune into somebody's Kiwi SDR through the internet, and I can hands-free that in the car on the way home, and I'm not participating in it, and I'm just listening. When I can participate, I do, but there's times I just can't, but it's just nice to hear, especially if we're having poor weather or great weather, and you heard a storm coming in down south. My dad's alone on the farm down there. It's just nice to know what's going on without picking up the phone even, just driving. It's nice to hear everybody's input. So although it's a bit more, I'm not going to say terse, it's just very by the rules. That's one of the things to mention is anything that's untoward going on. So that's to hear those updates, and it's a great way to pass the time as you're driving. Of course, you're focusing on the road, but it's nice to hear that. And it's all hands-free Bluetooth from the phone. I don't ever touch the phone once it's running, so it's very convenient. You know, you do it as you start the car, let the car warm up a minute, and then you're good to go. So that's a very nice thing, and I do enjoy it, although I like to participate in it just all the time. Most of the time I can't. I just don't get home in time from work. So that's how it goes, and better to be listening in than to be completely clueless, I guess you could say. And so that's, although it's not much of a jovial net, not like this. This is a fun net, very fun, and this is a bit less restricted, I suppose you could say. But they do follow the rules for a good reason, of course, too. They're always doing things for that kind of a slightly different purpose. But I sure do enjoy hearing north to south what's going on in our province here. So that's what I try to tune into anyway. Thanks so much, Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot Kilo Clear.
All right, very good. Alberta Public Service net. I'm gonna check them out too. I'm sure there's some resources I can look up them. I actually like the fact that we have very active amateur radio storm spotting and weather spotting nets both in Lake County and Geauga County immediately to our west. So if something's coming, we generally hear it over the radio as long as we're listening to those repeaters long before it gets to us. So it is important to have that stuff here. All right. Well, hey, Bob, N8DPD, we'll skip right down to you because them other two were IOs. So, man, thank you for joining us at the Wednesday Night Joke Night. Good to have you on the radio tonight. Hey, I know you missed the joke round. Tonight's joke was, what do you get when you cross a snowman with a dog? What do you get when you cross a snowman with a dog? Feel free to introduce yourself to the group because we are past the comment round. And is there something you listen to on amateur radio that you just listen to for fun? Go take it away.
Give it to me, over.
Roger, N8DPD, take it away.
front of the microphone, and I hit the button and put me on 440. I go, whoops, that's the wrong band. Anyway, thank you for allowing me to join the group tonight, NADPD. The name is Bob, of course, over here in Geneva. I don't know. I listen to some DXnet. I'm a DXer. I like chasing DX. Phone, CW, mostly. Like a lot of CW. Do FT8, of course. But, man, that's about it. But, of course, the DXnet I listen to, usually I wind up trying to work the DX that's on the net. So, I don't know if you actually call that listening to or not. But anyway. And I'm going to give a shout out, if I can, to Tom, NHCT, for helping me. I got some health issues, as a lot of you guys know. And I can't bend over backwards too well, and have to walk with a cane because of the issues I have with the disease I have in my spinal cord. So it makes it kind of tough. But Tom graciously came over and got my off-center bed back up. Doggone, looks like a squirrel chewed on the rope. Hope he was hanging on when that rope let go, because he went for a ride. But anyway, Tom, if you're listening, thank you very much again. Tom's a really, really great guy, and I really appreciate his help. But as far as net goes, I listen to mid-cars. I like listening to that once in a while. But I do pop in on that from time to time to say hi to, Joan and some of the guys on there, Joe up there in Michigan, and a few other guys. So, but other than that, that's about it. Mostly I'm cruising up and down the band trying to work DX. So, anyway, you guys have a good one. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get back on 160 meters. I was listening to a couple guys down around CW, and now I'm on 160 meter FT8. But I'll spin the dial a little bit before I go to bed and see what I can work anything good on CW too. Hey, back to you. Take care and all the best. We'll probably catch you mobile sometime. See you later. See you, Frank, by the way. Have a good one, guys. NADPD 73 to the group.
All right, Bob. Well, you made my night. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Appreciate it. And, yeah, Tom, NHCT, he checks in here every once in a while just to make sure we're doing okay. Good man, good man. All right, we'll keep on going. Jeff, KC8 LAR, good to have you with us again, sir. And CQ Santa, what's your favorite ham event to listen to?
Oh, good question, Emo. On occasion, I do like to listen to the Hurricane WatchNet. A lot of times I'll do that at work when I don't have anything else going on, kind of background noise and keeping track of how the storms progress. Kind of interesting to listen to. But other than that, if I'm listening, it's probably just one of the shortwave broadcasts like WBQC or one of the other ones on the band. Good old AMers. So with that, we'll pass it back to that control. This is Kilo Charlie 8, Lima Alpha Romeo.
Absolutely, Hurricane WatchNet, and I've paid attention to that net quite a few times over the last year, or a couple of years anyway. With that big hurricane that came swashing through North Carolina and Tennessee, and the ones that subsequently followed up into Florida right after that within a week. Definitely that net was valuable, and listening to it was very interesting, and I'm glad it was there for sure. All right, Wayne, Alpha, Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet, rounding out the list tonight. CQ Santa, but what's your favorite ham event to listen to?
Okay, if I had to pick one that I listen to more than anything else, I listen to there's a propagation net that goes on about it starts. I've never been able to figure out exactly when it starts, but somewhere about 10 a.m. Eastern till it runs to almost 11:30 noon, and they go up and down the band. It's people all over the country, and when you look up the stations that are doing it, all of them have like 150-foot towers with 8 element Yagis and stuff that just you can't even get. I tried to get on there once. And I got a signal report of like 2 or something like that. So, but I just usually like every so often just to sit back in the morning and just, it gives you a good idea what's going to work that day for the bands and all that stuff. It's really about it. That's I do like to listen to that. I like to listen to a lot of it, but that's usually when I listen to more than anything else now. Back to net control off. Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet 73.
All right, Propagation Net. I've heard of that one too. Yeah, another good one I like to listen to every once in a while, if I can catch them, is the 1010 Net. That's always pretty fun to listen to, and sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not for me. So there you go. I like 10 meters. It's pretty cool. All right, that rounds out the list as I have it. This is KE8PVL with the Wednesday Night Joke Net. I probably haven't said that enough tonight. But hey, before I do anything else, is there anybody who would like to check in? Please call. All right, nothing heard. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Let me do one thing though. I don't normally plug a lot of the other stuff that I do, but for those of you who are new and those of you who don't know, I run a YouTube channel called Ashtabula Hobby Talk, and tomorrow is our taping night. Tomorrow's the night we tape the show, and I'm gonna have a guy named Johnny Mullet come on the show with me tomorrow, and he's a part of the North Shore CB Radio Club, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk radio. We're gonna talk CB versus ham, so to speak. And so if anybody's interested in checking us out, it's Ashtabula Hobby Talk. I'm only putting it out there because it is radio related, and it ought to be a pretty good show. And then anybody should be. I would think everybody might be interested in checking it out. So I'll throw a link up on our Facebook page here for this net about it too, which I've been slacking on, and I'm sorry for anybody who's listening that normally listens to us on YouTube and or through Facebook. I will get that back in order too. I've just been kind of busy with the weather, with the cold snaps that we've been getting. I've been panicking on getting my winter gear set up here, and I'm at least starting to get caught up so I can get back on that. Those are secondary, but this is primary to me. So this net doesn't go anywhere. This will be here even if I don't post up the social media stuff. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Without you, this net couldn't happen. I'd like to thank all the people who are currently serving and retired from service to our country. Your sacrifices won't be forgotten. I'd like to thank Ashtabula County Amateur Radio Club for the use of this repeater every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. so that we can run this net. This is KE8PVL. I'm going to go ahead and return the net back over to normal amateur radio use. In fact, I will surrender it to K8TIE and KE8ZHH so that they can continue talking about microphone stuff. Be good to each other, everybody. KE8PVL is clear.
KE8TIE, KE8, you out there?